We will continue to pan the crowds like we always do. If you're new to Right Side Broadcasting Network or unfamiliar with what we do, we live stream all of President Trump's rallies, and one of our favorite things to do is pan the crowd, of course. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I was going to jump in and talk to you guys a little bit about donations and how they work, but it looks like we already have some rolling in. So I just want to take a moment and say thank you to Corey. Sorry, we're getting some notes from headquarters. Yes, I acknowledge. Romans 8:28 KJV said, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to this purpose." Have a good day to all. Smile with pride at all the wealth and love and stability. And that is from Corey Michael Kick. Thank you. Joe Marchant said, "Where's the hat, though? Keep killing it and bring home Pennsylvania for Trump." I'll show you where the hat is. I'm going to let these guys pass. Hold on. Time out. Again, we're totally live. I don't know if you can get it. The hat. You see the hat? Hat's on the bag right next to me at all times. This is my hat that will be traveling. I'm breaking everything. It's fantastic. Breaking everything I touch. But thank you for y'all's donations. I'm going to jump in and see what's going on at headquarters. Looks like copy, we are two separate streams, and I want to say hello. So most of you are already got it. Got it? You guys know more about what's going on than I do. But so most of y'all are probably waiting for President Trump's Supreme Court announcement. I'm going to hop into that stream as well. I think everyone's pretty sure, 99% sure, it's going to be ACB. And I think she's going to be a great nominee. I know whatever the left is thinking about putting her through is going to be absolutely horrible. So I do pray for her and her family. I've already seen some absolutely insane accusations on Twitter regarding the adoptions of her children. It's horrible. I don't even recommend reading into that, but President Trump does seem to be very confident in his pick. He actually didn't even meet with Lagoa, who a lot of people thought might have been his choice. However, that meeting in Miami did not happen. It seems if he doesn't announce it for Amy in the next few moments, I think he was pretty dead set on her the entire time. So I want to say hello to everyone watching. We're very excited. I'm actually really eager to watch that with you guys. I would love to be there covering it from the White House, but you know, we love these rallies. There's going to be more people covering the White House announcement, and there's less mainstream media covering these rallies and giving them the attention they deserve. So that's what we are here for. I'm going to switch over to the Supreme Court live stream from RSBN. It's actually pretty crazy. So YouTube shadow bans me from being able to find most of RSBN streams as well, which is insane because it's the only thing I watch on YouTube. So by now the algorithm should know that that's what I want to see, but I have to go in and search for it pretty hard. One second, I'll be right back. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We want to give you a little bit more information about what we can expect y'all to see from President Trump's Supreme Court nominee. There have been a lot of articles written about Amy Coney Barrett, and it's been reported that about a little more than an hour ago, she actually hopped on a flight over to D.C., so you can expect to see her there very shortly. The article that I'm about to reference is scotusblog.com, so please note that. In November of 2017, President Donald Trump released a revised list of potential Supreme Court nominees. The November 27 list was an expanded version of two earlier lists announced during the 2016 presidential campaign, from which then-candidate Trump pledged, if elected, to pick a successor to the late Justice Antonin Scalia, who died on February 13, 2016. First on the new list, because it was in alphabetical order, was Amy Coney Barrett, a Notre Dame law professor and former Scalia clerk who had recently been confirmed to a seat on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 7th Circuit. Barrett's confirmation hearings had received considerable attention after Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee, most notably Senator Dianne Feinstein of California, grilled her on the role of her Catholic faith in judging. Feinstein's criticism did not stop Barrett from being confirmed, and since there has been speculation that it may have in fact strengthened her case to fill the seat, that will be vacated by the retirement of Justice Anthony Kennedy. The 46-year-old Barrett grew up in Metairie, Louisiana, a suburb of New Orleans, and attended St. Mary's Dominican High School, a Catholic girls' school in New Orleans. Barrett graduated magna cum laude from Rhodes College, a liberal arts college in Tennessee affiliated with the Presbyterian Church, in 1994. Other high-profile alumni from the school include Abe Fortas, who served as Justice of the Supreme Court from 1965 to 1969, and Claudia Kennedy, the first woman to become a 3-star general in the U.S. Army. At Rhodes, she was a member of Phi Beta Kappa and was also recognized as the most outstanding English major and for having the best senior thesis. After graduating from Rhodes, Barrett went to law school at Notre Dame on a full tuition scholarship. She excelled there as well. She graduated summa cum laude in 1997, received awards for having the best exams in 10 of her courses, and served as executive editor of the school's law review. Barrett then held 2 high-profile conservative clerkships, first with Judge Lawrence Silberman of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit from 1997 to 1998, then with late Justice Antonin Scalia from 1998 to 1999. After leaving her Supreme Court clerkship, she spent a year practicing law at Miller, Castile, LaRocca & Lewin, a prestigious Washington, D.C. litigation boutique that also claims former U.S. Solicitor General Seth Waxman, former Deputy Attorney General Jamie Gorelick, and 2 regular contributors to this blog, which is SCOTUS blog. John Elwood and editor Evan Roberts as alums. Barrett went to Baker Botts, a Texas-based firm, after Miller Castile merged with a larger law firm in 2000 and spent another year there before leaving academia. To the chagrin of Democratic senators during her confirmation process, Barrett was only able to recall a few of the cases on which she had worked, and she indicated that she had not argued any appeals while in private practice. Barrett spent a year as a law and economics fellow at George Washington University before heading to her alma mater, Notre Dame, in 2002 to teach federal courts, constitutional law, and statutory interpretation. Barrett was named a professor of law at the school in 2010. 4 years later, she became the Diane and M.O. Research Chair of Law. Barrett twice received a Distinguished Professor of the Year award in 2010 and 2016. While at Notre Dame, Barrett signed a 2012 statement of protest condemning the accommodation that the Obama administration created for religious employers who were subject to the ACA's birth control mandate. This statement lamented that the accommodation, quote, changes nothing of moral substance and fails to remove the assault on individual liberty and the rights of conscience which gave rise to the controversy. Barrett was also a member of the Federalist Society, the conservative legal group, from 2005 to 2006, and then again from 2014 to 2017. In response to written questions from Democratic senators during her circuit confirmation process, that she had rejoined the group because it, quote, gave her the opportunity to speak to groups of interested, engaged students on topics of mutual interest, but she added that she had never attended the group's national convention. The best insight into how Barrett might rule as a Supreme Court justice likely comes from her academic scholarship, an area in which she has been prolific. The Washington Post reported on Saturday that Trump wants a nominee with a, quote, portfolio of solid academic writing, and Barrett, perhaps more than any other nominee on the reported shortlist, fits that bill to a T. Several of those articles, however, drew fire at Barrett's 7th Circuit confirmation hearing, with the Democratic senators suggesting that they indicate that Barrett would be influenced by her Catholic faith, particularly on the question of abortion. Barrett co-wrote her first law review article, Catholic Judges in Capital Cases, with Notre Dame law professor John Garvey, now the president of the Catholic University of America. The article was published in the Marquette Law Review in 1998. Shortly after her graduation from Notre Dame, it explored the effect of the Catholic Church's teachings on the death penalty on federal judges, but it also used the Church's teachings on abortion. The article also noted that when the late Justice William Brennan was asked about potential conflict between his Catholic faith and his duties as a justice, he responded that he would be governed by the oath I took to support the Constitution and laws of the United States. Barrett and Garvey observed that they did not defend this position as the proper response for a Catholic judge to take with respect to abortion or the death penalty. When questioned about the article at her 7th Circuit confirmation hearing, Barrett stressed that she did not believe it was lawful for a judge to impose personal opinions from whatever source they derive upon the law, and she pledged that her views on abortion or any other question will have no bearing on the discharge of my duties as a judge. She acknowledged that if she were instead being nominated to serve as a federal trial judge, she would not enter an order of execution.
Trump, accompanied by Judge Amy Coney Barrett and family.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I stand before you today to fulfill one of my highest and most important duties under the United States Constitution, the nomination of a Supreme Court Justice. This is my third such nomination, after Justice Gorsuch and Justice Kavanaugh, and it is a very proud moment indeed. Over the past week, our nation has mourned the loss of a true American legend. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a legal giant and a pioneer for women. Her extraordinary life and legacy will inspire Americans for generations to come. Now we gather in the Rose Garden to continue our never-ending task of ensuring equal justice and preserving the impartial rule of law. Today it is my honor to nominate one of our nation's most brilliant and gifted legal minds to the Supreme Court. She is a woman of unparalleled achievement, towering intellect, sterling credentials, and unyielding loyalty to the Constitution, Judge Amy Coney Barrett. We're also joined by Amy's husband, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse, very much. And their 7 beautiful children. Congratulations to you all. Very special day. With us as well are the First Lady. Thank you, First Lady. Along with Vice President Mike Pence and his amazing wife, Karen. Thank you very much, Karen. Judge Barrett is a graduate of Rhodes College and the University of Notre Dame Law School. At Notre Dame, she earned a full academic scholarship, served as the executive editor of the Law Review, graduated first in her class, and received the law school's award for the best record of scholarship and achievement. Upon graduation, she became a clerk for Judge Lawrence Silberman on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. Amy then received one of the highest honors a young lawyer could have, serving as a clerk on the Supreme Court for Justice Antonin Scalia. A very highly respected law professor at Notre Dame wrote to Justice Scalia with a one-sentence recommendation: Amy Coney is the best student I ever had. That's pretty good. Justice Scalia hired her shortly thereafter, and we are honored to have his wonderful wife, Maureen. Where is Maureen? Maureen Scalia with us today. Thank you. And our great Secretary of Labor. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Very good genes in that family, I will say. Very good genes. Before joining the bench, Judge Barrett spent 15 years as a professor at the University of Notre Dame Law School. She was renowned for her scholarship, celebrated by her colleagues, and beloved by her students. 3 times she was selected at Notre Dame Distinguished Professor of the Year. When I nominated Judge Barrett to serve on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 7th Circuit in 2017, every law clerk from her time at the Supreme Court endorsed her nomination, writing, quote, "We are Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, yet we write to support the nomination of Professor Barrett to be a circuit judge. Professor Barrett is a woman of remarkable intellect and character. She is eminently qualified for the job." And I can tell you, I did that too. I looked and I studied, and you are very eminently qualified for this job. You are going to be fantastic. Thank you. Really fantastic. The entire Notre Dame law facility and faculty, everybody at that school also, we got so many letters, also wrote letters of support of Amy's nomination to the 7th Circuit. They wrote, in effect, Despite our differences, we unanimously agree that our constitutional system depends upon an independent judiciary staffed by talented people, devoted to the fair and impartial administration of the rule of law, and we unanimously agree that Amy is such a person. For the last 3 years, Judge Barrett has served with immense distinction on the federal bench. Amy is more than a stellar scholar and judge. She's also a profoundly devoted mother. Her family is a core part of who Amy is. She opened her home and her heart and adopted 2 beautiful children from Haiti. Her incredible bond with her youngest child, a son with Down syndrome, is a true inspiration. If confirmed, Justice Barrett will make history as the first mother of school-age children ever to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court. That's good. To her children, Emma, Vivian, Tess, John Peter, Liam, Juliet, and Benjamin, thank you for sharing your incredible mom with our country. Thank you very much. Amy Coney Barrett will decide cases based on the text of the Constitution as written. As Amy has said, being a judge takes courage. You are not there to decide cases as you may prefer. You are there to do your duty and to follow the law wherever it may take you. That is exactly what Judge Barrett will do on the U.S. Supreme Court. I want to thank the members of the Senate. We have so many of them here today. Thank you very much. I see you in the audience, and you're so proud. But I want to thank you for your commitment and to providing a fair and timely hearing. I know it will be that. Judge Barrett was confirmed to the Circuit Court 3 years ago by a bipartisan vote. Her qualifications are unsurpassed, and her record is beyond reproach. This should be a straightforward and prompt confirmation. Should be very easy. Good luck. It's going to be very quick. I'm sure it'll be extremely non-controversial. We said that the last time, didn't we? Well, thank you all very much, and thank you for being here. That's really great. Thank you. Thank you. I further urge all members of the other side of the aisle to provide Judge Barrett with the respectful and dignified hearing that she deserves, and frankly, that our country deserves. I urge lawmakers and members of the media to refrain from personal or partisan attacks, and the stakes for our country are incredibly high. Rulings that the Supreme Court will issue in the coming years will decide the survival of our Second Amendment, our religious liberty, our public safety, and so much more. To maintain security, liberty, and prosperity, we must preserve our priceless heritage of a nation of laws, and there is no one better to do that than Amy Coney Barrett. Law and order is the foundation of the American system of justice. No matter the issue, no matter the case before her, I am supremely confident that Judge Barrett will issue rulings based solely upon a fair reading of the law. She will defend the sacred principle of equal justice for citizens of every race, color, religion, and creed. Congratulations again to Judge Barrett. I know that you will make our country very, very proud. Please, Amy, say a few words. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I am deeply honored by the confidence that you have placed in me. And I am so grateful to you and the First Lady, to the Vice President and the Second Lady, and to so many others here for your kindness on this rather overwhelming occasion. I fully understand that this is a momentous decision for a president. And if the Senate does me the honor of confirming me, I pledge to discharge the responsibilities of this job to the very best of my ability. I love the United States, and I love the United States Constitution. I am truly humbled by the prospect of serving on the Supreme Court. Should I be confirmed, I will be mindful of who came before me. The flag of the United States is still flying at half-staff in memory of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg to mark the end of a great American life. Justice Ginsburg began her career at a time when women were not welcome in the legal profession. But she not only broke glass ceilings, she smashed them. For that, she has won the admiration of women across the country and indeed all over the world. Yes. She was a woman of enormous talent and consequence, and her life of public service serves as an example to us all. Particularly poignant to me was her long and deep friendship with Justice Antonin Scalia, my own mentor. Justices Scalia and Ginsburg disagreed fiercely in print without rancor in person. Their ability to maintain a warm and rich friendship, despite their differences, even inspired an opera. These two great Americans demonstrated that arguments, even about matters of great consequence, need not destroy affection. In both my personal and professional relationships, I strive to meet that standard. I was lucky enough to clerk for Justice Scalia, and given his incalculable influence on my life, I am very moved to have members of the Scalia family here today, including his dear wife, Maureen. I clerked for Justice Scalia more than 20 years ago, but the lessons I learned still resonate. His judicial philosophy is mine too. A judge must apply the law as written. Judges are not policymakers, and they must be resolute in setting aside any policy views they might hold. The President has asked me to become the 9th Justice, and as it happens, I'm used to being in a group of 9, my family. Our family includes me, my husband Jesse, Emma, Vivian, Tess, John Peter, Liam, Juliet, and Benjamin. Vivian and John Peter, as the President said, were born in Haiti, and they came to us 5 years apart when they were very young. And the most revealing fact about Benjamin, our youngest, is that his brothers and sisters unreservedly identify him as their favorite sibling. Our children obviously make our life very full. While I am a judge, I'm better known back home as a room parent, carpool driver, and birthday party planner. When schools went remote last spring, I tried on another hat. Jesse and I became co-principals of the Barrett e-Learning Academy. And yes, the list of enrolled students was a very long one. Our children are my greatest joy, even though they deprive me of any reasonable amount of sleep. I couldn't manage this very full life without the unwavering support of my husband, Jesse. At the start of our marriage, I imagined that we would run our household as partners. As it has turned out, Jesse does far more than his share of the work. To my chagrin, I learned at dinner recently that my children consider him to be the better cook. For 21 years, Jesse has asked me every single morning what he can do for me that day. And though I almost always say nothing, he still finds ways to take things off my plate. And that's not because he has a lot of free time. He has a busy law practice. It's because he is a superb and generous husband, and I am very fortunate. Jesse and I have a life full of relationships, not only with our children, but with siblings, friends, and fearless babysitters, one of whom is with us today. I am particularly grateful to my parents, Mike and Linda Coney. I have spent the bulk of my adulthood as a Midwesterner, but I grew up in their New Orleans home. And as my brother and sisters can also attest, Mom and Dad's generosity extends not only to us, but to more people than any of us could count. They are an inspiration. It is important at a moment like this to acknowledge family and friends. But this evening, I also want to acknowledge you, my fellow Americans. The President has nominated me to serve on the United States Supreme Court, and that institution belongs to all of us. If confirmed, I would not assume that role for the sake of those in my own circle, and certainly not for my own sake. I would assume this role to serve you. I would discharge the judicial oath, which requires me to administer justice without respect to persons, do equal right to the poor and rich, and faithfully and impartially discharge my duties under the United States Constitution. I have no illusions that the road ahead of me will be easy, either for the short term or the long haul. I never imagined that I would find myself in this position. But now that I am, I assure you that I will meet the challenge with both humility and courage. Members of the United States Senate, I look forward to working with you during the confirmation process, and I will do my very best to demonstrate that I am worthy of your support. Thank you.
Come on up, family. Come on up, family. I want to acknowledge Attorney General Bill Barr. Bill, thank you very much for being here. Chief of Staff, thank you very much. Chief, you're doing a great job. And all of the senators, please, we really appreciate it. And I know you're going to have a busy couple of weeks, but I think it's going to be easier than you might think. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you all. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Congratulations, Amy. Okay, we'll go. Thank you.
Nomination of Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the United States Supreme Court, and a really beautiful speech from her. I just want to make an announcement and a reminder for all of those who are watching this on the stream of the Supreme Court nomination. Please go right now to the Middletown, Pennsylvania rally. Again, you look good. Again, we are live from the Middletown, Pennsylvania rally right now, so make sure you switch over your streams. You do not want to miss this. We are starting right now. So as soon as we get all of you back over there, we're going to show you what's going on around me, what's going on behind me. And we want to talk to you a little bit more about how the crowd reacted to President Trump's nomination of Judge Amy Coney Barrett. So we'll be meeting you right there in just a second. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
Senator Tim Scott here, chipping in just $5. I mean, $5 today could be the difference between winning and losing our Senate majority. It's actually that close.
Pennsylvania! You bet we are. While Joe Biden is looking for his remote control in his basement, this team on the ground has been working long hours in all 67 counties in this great Keystone state. You know, I have to tell you, I've been in politics a long time, and I've worked on a lot of campaigns, but I've never seen the enthusiasm we're seeing this year. Thank you. Our team has knocked on over 1 million doors, contacted over 7 million voters, and registered, as you've heard, thousands of volunteers know. They know what you and I know. Joe Biden might have been born in Pennsylvania, but he left for the D.C. swamp a long time ago.